Here are 9 movies that improved my life, and I know for a fact they'll improve yours too. Number 1. The Matrix. The Matrix is a story of a disillusioned hacker named Neo, portrayed by Keanu Reeves, who finds himself questioning the nature of his reality. Guided by the enigmatic Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne, Neo discovers that his world is an artificial construct. This revelation unfolds when Neo takes the red pill.
You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
And awakens to the harsh truth. Humans are used as mere batteries in a dystopian world.
No.
Not only is it entertaining as it's probably one of the best choreographed action films of all time. But as you get older, you realize that The Matrix was onto something. By watching The Matrix, you will become more aware of the games of power and control going on around you.
I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious.
It's not just an allegory for what's been going on in the world recently, it might actually become literally true with the rise of AI and how scary all that is. It actually really gets you thinking about the mind control that society has enslaved you with. Marketing, narratives, propaganda, what you see on TV and the internet, and how all of that is used to influence the public to do certain things and to live a certain way. And if you tend to be the type of person who spends all of their time keeping up with the latest gossip or TV shows, and that's the main thing that occupies your mind, then after you watch The Matrix, you might shake a lot of that mindset off. You may realize that your money, your time, and your attention is being farmed for someone else's benefit in more ways than you even knew possible. By watching The Matrix, you'll become more resistant to mind control and haphazardly subscribing to beliefs or mindsets that enslave you, mindsets that keep you stuck, keep you poor, keep you distracted from living a life that benefits you and the ones you love. Watching The Matrix will make you realize that
do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon. Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.
This all may sound vague, but it's impossible to describe what I'm talking about until you take the red pill, and you discover just how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Do you see yourself as having any weaknesses?
Number 2. Trainspotting. Trainspotting is a gritty exploration of addiction and the human condition, centered around Mark Renton, Ewan McGregor, and his friends in Edinburgh. The film paints a stark picture of heroin addiction, capturing the highs and devastating lows of their lives.
It's shite being Scottish!
I don't have a very in-depth explanation of why you should watch this movie, other than the fact that it was one of the most disturbing things I have ever seen in my life. I've watched a lot of different types of movies throughout my 27, soon to be 28 years of existence. And there's a strong argument to be made that Trainspotting is the most disturbing one. Probably because I saw a lot of myself and my own tendencies in these addicts. It made me really, really, really not want to go down that path. The film Trainspotting is the reason why I tend to show the negative in my videos. A lot of the time I'll make tutorials on how to be miserable for the rest of your life, and it's because of films like Trainspotting that were so effective at making me feel like I just wanted to run away from life at the bottom. By watching Trainspotting, you will be given a hellish vision to run from. You will catch a glimpse into the psychology of addiction and gain valuable information on how to stay on top of your own thought patterns so you don't end up in this hellish place. And I want to reiterate, this movie is not for the faint of heart. It is a disturbing film. But if you can handle that kind of thing, it can serve as a potent dose of reverse psychology. A big thank you to Grammarly for sponsoring this video. Grammarly is the AI writing assistant that helps everybody write clearer, better, and faster. With Grammarly, you get personalized writing suggestions based on your goals and context. Whether you're a student wanting to improve your grades, an everyday user looking to communicate more effectively, or a professional aiming to impress, Grammarly has got you covered. The thing that makes Grammarly so useful is not only is it such a powerful writing companion, but it is seamlessly integrated into your everyday computer and phone activities. It's available as a web extension or a smartphone keyboard to make sure that brilliant writing is only a click away. I find that Grammarly is especially useful for helping me swap out words that I use all the time, like super and extremely. Grammarly has been there to rescue me from my language faux pas. All these fantastic features are available for free. Click my link in the description below, go to grammarly.com/betterideas, and start experiencing the benefits of high quality writing today. Once again, go to grammarly.com/betterideas to instantly elevate your writing for free.
Now, one strike as good as you gave. Sir,
The Green Knight.
you flinch.
The reason why The Green Knight improved my life is because it made my head spin, and it got me deeply contemplating my own existence, my dependency on certain vices, and the relationship all of that has with my own mortality. Dev Patel stars as Sir Gawain, who embarks on a quest to confront the mystical Green Knight, a journey that tests his honor, bravery, and understanding of mortality. The film is a visually stunning and philosophically rich adaptation of the Arthurian legend. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, The Green Knight was really poorly marketed. The trailers made it seem like it was this action-packed Arthurian epic that would rival The Lord of the Rings. But that's not even remotely close to what The Green Knight was. I watched The Green Knight in theaters with almost my entire family, and while most of us were incredibly confused and didn't know what the hell we just watched, it did cause one of the longest post-movie discussions we've ever had as a family, ever. What it reminded me of, personally, is the Christian concept of dying to oneself, enduring pain to die to a former way of being in order to be closer to God. Now, whether or not you come from any kind of religious background, this concept is honestly the fundamental structure of self-improvement, whether you like it or not. Everybody can relate to this idea of clinging to a certain vice or a certain lifestyle or way of being that is comfortable. And the process of growing is almost this process of enduring pain and dying to this older version of yourself. You embrace pain, i.e. death, i.e. the Green Knight, that weird being, in order to become something greater, in order to be free. Your existence can feel freer, lighter, and more joyful if you learn to embrace pain and transmute it into something greater. Now, is this exactly what The Green Knight is all about? I have no idea. Everybody seems to have a different interpretation of it, but that's a really fun reason to watch a movie so that you can come out of that movie with your own conclusions. Once again, don't feel like you're watching an action movie. It is very slow, and it is a thought piece.
Off with your head.
Number 4, Yes Man. Yes Man, starring Jim Carrey, is the story of Carl Allen, who decides to change his life by saying yes to every opportunity. Yes Man is probably the weakest film on this list, but it does get you thinking. It plays with a novel concept. What if you said yes to everything, every opportunity in front of you? And, surprisingly, it is one of the best rut-busting films. By diving into this goofy little thought experiment, Yes Man will open your eyes to the reality that a completely different life may just be on the other side of a different response to the situations in front of you. By saying yes instead of everything else that you usually say, oh, this isn't really my thing, oh, I'm too tired, I don't really feel like it. It's like if you just say yes and embrace the discomfort and just shake things up, there's a very good possibility that your entire life will open up in ways you never knew possible. I know this from experience. You probably know this from experience. And Yes Man serves as a brilliant reminder of this fact. Say yes. What the hell? Let's go for it. Sometimes we need that kind of energy, and Yes Man provides you with that energy. Number 5, Hacksaw Ridge. Hacksaw Ridge tells the true story of Desmond Doss. This is a dramatization of a very true event and a very underrated war hero who actually existed, played by Andrew Garfield, a conscientious objector who served as a medic during World War II without carrying a weapon. Doss's unwavering faith and courage are showcased in his heroic efforts to save 75 men during the Battle of Okinawa. It is definitely corny at times.
You what?
My blood, I need it back.
Well, it don't work like that. We can't just give it back to you.
Well, you got to. Ever since you stubbed me with that needle, my heart's been beating real fast.
But it's also really violent, like just out of nowhere. It's a weird mix of PG-rated cheesiness, but also like heavy R-rated violence. When I first watched this movie in theaters, I left the theater feeling like I was capable of so much more. Not in a self-deprecating way. You know, I didn't hate myself, but I felt like I was called for more. I feel like I had more strength and more will than I was utilizing. It is a heavily inspiring story about the power of faith, the power of resolve, the power of raw human capability when you believe in something higher than yourself. Hacksaw Ridge will motivate you to be a force for good. There's just something always so inspiring about watching or hearing about stories of self-sacrifice where someone puts their life on the line to save other people, especially when somebody goes above and beyond and endures great pain and suffering in order to save the lives of other people. And this isn't a made-up story. Again, this is a true story of an underrated war hero. It just makes the whole thing all the more impactful. Hacksaw Ridge will motivate you to be better, be stronger, to have conviction, and be a force for good. Number 6.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Casino Royale. Casino Royale will improve your life because it will imprint on your mind what a stone-cold motherfucker looks like. Casino Royale introduces Daniel Craig as James Bond, showcasing his first mission as 007. The film follows Bond's development into the iconic spy, blending sophistication, strategic thinking, and intense action. The main takeaway for me when I watched Casino Royale when it came out, wow. It's important to maintain composure. If there's one trait that James Bond has in spades, it's composure. No matter what happens, he's stone cold. He's capable, he is deadly, he's suave. But whether something blows up, or a girl is catching his gaze, or there's a bad guy whipping his balls, he maintains composure. He cracks a joke.
Look at the village.
He has this sort of stoic calm. Everything is under control. I feel like that was really inspiring for me as somebody who has a lot of composure in life. Well, that sounded self-important. But I've always been somebody who doesn't talk a ton. I'm not Mr. Yapster, despite the fact that you probably all know me as somebody who talks a lot. But in reality, in social situations, in my family, in friends groups, I am actually a little bit quieter. I like to listen. I like to observe. So to see sort of this archetype, it was encouraging for me. You know, I didn't have to be this wacky waving, inflatable arm flailing tube man in order to be funny or in order to be cool.
I'm sorry. That last hand nearly killed me.
You can be a chiller, and that's okay. Anytime a piece of art, a piece of cinema, gets you thinking a different way or considering different information, that in and of itself is beneficial. It got you considering things, either re-solidifying opinions or beliefs that you already have, or considering new ones, rather than just thinking the same thing all the time because your YouTube homepage keeps you pigeonholed into thinking the same thoughts and doing the same things. Number 7.
You shall not pass!
The Lord of the Rings trilogy. And I'm not joking with this one. Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings follows Frodo Baggins, Elijah Wood, and his companions on an epic quest to destroy the One Ring and defeat the forces of evil. The trilogy is a sweeping saga of friendship, loyalty, and the battle between good and evil. Basically, I think everybody watching this has seen Lord of the Rings, but there's a reason why people say things like, I feel like everybody's watched The Lord of the Rings. It's because if you are one of those weird freaks who hasn't seen The Lord of the Rings, you're either really young, and you kind of missed the boat on that, or you don't know what you're missing.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you!
I feel like The Lord of the Rings is the antidote to iPad kids, is because it offers you archetypes. It solidifies strong archetypes in your mind. You know, I feel like kids these days, they watch a lot of, like Roblox gameplay videos, but I really think they should watch The Lord of the Rings. They're looking for excitement, if they're looking for adventure, if they're looking for the concept of good triumphing over evil, then you have to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It amazes me every time I think about it that it even exists. Movies don't get made like this anymore. But either way, yeah, just watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There's a reason why everybody tells you to do that, so go do it.
I wish none of this had happened.
So do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.
Number 8. The Social Network. The Social Network dramatizes the creation of Facebook by Mark Zuckerberg, played by Jesse Eisenberg, and the ensuing legal and personal conflicts. The film captures the intense drive and innovation behind the tech giant's inception.
You don't think I deserve your attention?
You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount.
The main thing that the Social Network makes you want to do is basically invent Facebook. It makes you want to just keep your head down, stay laser focused on something, build something that is popular, build something that people use, and build something that goes viral. I play the Social Network soundtrack when I'm writing, when I'm building things, even if it's just IKEA furniture. The soundtrack slaps, and it makes you be productive. You will have no choice but to be productive, to plug yourself in, to build something substantial, and take over the world. And you might say, Joey, people taking over the world is the problem with the world. I would counter, there's not enough people wanting to take over the world. Maybe there should be more resistance and more people wanting to take over the world so that the people who are taking over the world have some competition. If you're watching this video, if you're a Better Ideas viewer, then I want you to take over the world instead of Mark Zuckerberg. Go for it. Get inspired by his tale and try to learn from it. Go plug yourself in, go build something from the ground up, as long as you invite me onto your yacht. Number 9. It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is a Christmas classic. It's a Wonderful Life follows George Bailey, played by James Stewart, as he contemplates suicide, only to be shown by an angel what the world would be like without him. This heartwarming tale underscores the value of individual lives and the impact one person can have on others. By the end of the movie, I choke up. And if you're going through a rough time in life and you want to be reminded about the value that you have and the role that you play to the people around you, to the world that you live in, It's a Wonderful Life will remind you of just that. I think that's just an important thing to be reminded of on a regular basis. And I hope that you watch some of these movies and that you feel really good and inspired and rejuvenated and life improved after watching them.